Line has been in existence for 16 years, and we're based at BBC Radio Stoke until recently. It all started off with a couple of appeals a day on the radio, and then it actually worked out that there was 7 slots per day on BBC Radio Stoke, and also pre-recorded package, what you call pre-recorded packages that went out on a daily basis. So we're still, although we're not based in BBC Radio Stoke anymore, we're still linked with them. And we're also linked with another radio station called Cross Rhythms, which is a Christian broadcasting, which actually took over BBC Radio Stoke's old buildings in Hanley and Stoke-on-Trent.
And the time is 16 minutes past 12 here on Cross Rhythms City. Well, for our first guest on Community Vision today, I'm joined by Dec Brennan from Action Line for our regular monthly chat with Dec. Dec, thanks very much for joining us.
Stuart George, actually, about 3 to 4 years ago, was Action Line reporter, and he's now the mid-morning presenter, and he reads out our appeals on BBC Radio Stoke every day.
BBC Radio Stoke, Stuart George programme for a Friday morning. Time to see what Action Line have for us today. And it's the information regarding the North Staff's carers. Being a presenter on Radio Stoke, people do actually come up and say, well, what are you doing with Action Line at the moment? It's not like a separate entity. It's very much involved in the things we do in the way that other organisations are as well. And Action Line is key to what we do on my programme. I got involved with Action Line primarily because it seemed like A, a good way into radio, and B, an organisation that's doing really good things for the local community. And I'd been involved in hospital radio, which was one voluntary organisation, and thought, well, this is really a halfway house between doing it for a living and still working in the voluntary sector, and it was fantastic. Well, Radio Stoke really is, if you like, the way that people hear about Action Line in a big way, in that, you know, tens of thousands of people every morning listen to the programme and hear what Action Line's doing in the community. We keep an eye on the Give a Thought at Christmas campaign. We were there for the launch of that. And we do the appeals. Action Line tell us who needs what, and they deal with that side of it in the collection. And we actually tell people what's going on. Today we've spoken about North Staff's carers and where they are. And it's an opportunity for people in Staffordshire and Cheshire to find out what's going on in their community and to act on it, really.
The whole idea of Give a Thought at Christmas is what?
Well, basically, the social services work alongside us on this, and what we do is there's been people, children that have been identified that wouldn't get a new Christmas present at, this Christmas, well, every Christmas. We have been running this for the last 6 years or so with them, and it's been very successful. And what you do, you come along, you choose a name and an age of a child, you go away, buy a gift for them and bring it back to the tree, and you get a bauble to put on your own Christmas tree when you get home.
I think it helps the community, because if you're asked to give money by someone shaking a can, you're not always sure that the money's going to the end user, whereas this way you're buying a gift and you can actually imagine the person that you're buying the gift for. So I think it really does help the community. This is an example that a couple have bought for a young man aged 9, and this will be wrapped up by social services and given to some young person in Stoke-on-Trent on Christmas Day.
Now, we're currently located in the Shelton Enterprise Centre, which is in between Stoke and Hanley in Stoke-on-Trent. We've only been here for a few months, mainly because we were based, like I said earlier, at the BBC Radio Stoke, but unfortunately they had a project that needed our office space, so obviously not being BBC employees, they did need that space, so we had to find somewhere else. But this is an ideal location for us. It's just a nice size office. It's got all the storage space that we need, and we're quite happy here. Many of the voluntary organisations in Stoke-on-Trent, well, North Staffordshire and South Cheshire, do get in touch with Action Line to maybe get events, or maybe they have a campaign that they need publicity for, and they contact Action Line to actually maybe record it, or get a guest in at the radio station to talk about that particular event or campaign that is happening. So like I say, that we're not preaching to folk, but what we are doing is giving them the information so they can make their own informed decisions about their own lives.